Alright, so today what we're going to be talking about first is what are polynomials. Then we're going to talk about how you find the degree of a polynomial and the leading coefficient. So that's our first learning target. Then we're going to go on to adding. So that's all we're doing today. Let's open up our first Flappy. So what is a polynomial? There are several ways that you can describe a polynomial. It is a term and a variable that usually have an exponent. You can have a monomial. What does mono mean? One. So it'd be one term. A binomial means how many terms?
Two.
A trinomial means?
3.
And a poly would be more than 3. Does everybody understand? So what we're going to do is we're going to write down some examples of each, and then we're going to talk about non-examples. So if it was one term, it could look like this. X squared. That's a monomial. You could also have 4a to the 6th. That's a monomial because terms are separated by plus or minus signs. You could have c divided by 7. That's also a monomial because, again, terms are separated by plus or minus signs. Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know what word you said, I'm sorry. Yes. A monomial is one term. So it could look like x squared because a term is separated by a plus or minus sign, so this is 1. This is also 1 because it's multiplying. Remember, they're separated by a plus or minus sign, and you don't have that here, so that's one term. And then this is division, so that's one term. What? Like if it said negative 3x squared, that would be a monomial because it's still one term, right? But a binomial with 2 terms could look like this. Could be like x minus 3. That's a binomial because it's 2 terms. Can anybody come up with another binomial? X plus, let's use a different letter. Let's use k plus 4. 2, say it again? Nope, it needs to be a variable and a number. Alright, so let's go with f cubed minus 2. Love it. And you could also say like 6x to the 7th minus 3x squared. Those are 2 different terms. Therefore, that is a binomial. Is everybody with me on that? Yes. We don't solve anything on these. Nope, this is just a polynomial, while this is a binomial. Now, a trinomial would have 3 different terms. 3. So it could be like a squared plus a minus 6. Those are all different terms, so that makes it a trinomial. You could also say 7x cubed plus 3y minus 2. Those are 3 terms because terms are separated by a plus or minus sign. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can anybody come up with another one? 5x squared plus 2y. That's only 2, boo-boo. We need one more. Thank you. Any questions on any of those? Yes, no, maybe so. Love it when you answer me. Okay, polynomial means it has more than 3. So this is, let's just write this down so we can make sure that we remember. Monomials, how many terms? Okay, let's write that down in this little box. 1 term. A binomial is how many terms? 2 terms. A trinomial? 3 terms. And a polynomial is greater than 3 terms. So it would be like if we said 10e to the 4th minus 3e cubed plus 4e squared plus e. That is 4 different terms. That's polynomial. Are you guys alive? Are we sure? Because it doesn't really seem like we are. Alright, non-examples. Non-examples means it's not a polynomial. So if I had 6 to the x power to the x, that is not a polynomial. That is an exponential function. And they are 2 different things. Crazy. If I did 18 divided by x, that is not a polynomial. That is something completely different. Yes. And that's not a polynomial. That's a constant. That's a number. So it has to be a variable. Variable. Are we ready now? Let's go to our next flappy. So, the next part, which is our first learning target, says I can identify the degree and leading coefficient. So the degree is the highest exponent, and the leading coefficient is the number out front of that. So let's come over here. And let's write that the degree is the highest exponent, the largest exponent. And then the leading coefficient is the number out front. The number out front of the degree. So these two go together. They work hand in hand. So on this guy, the first one, what's the largest exponent there? What's the only exponent there? 1. Because x has an exponent of 1. If there's not an exponent there, it's 1. Alright, and what's the leading coefficient? What's the number out front? Thank you. Well, you're whispering. Okay, does anybody have any questions on the first one? Okay, let's look at the second one. What is the largest exponent? 2. So, that's our largest exponent. And what is the number, the coefficient in front of the largest exponent? So, you write that. Now, what about number 3? What's the largest exponent there? And what's the number out front of that? I don't know what you're saying. I'm so sorry. What are you saying? Can you, speak up and enunciate? What is he saying? No one knows? Oh, okay. I don't feel like that's what it was. Okay, now on this one, what is the highest exponent here?
3.
3. And what is the number out front of the largest exponent? -1. Look at you go, Jackson. Take a point. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Now, if you want to, you can rewrite it from largest exponent to smallest. Smallest. So you could rewrite it like that, and you would say that the largest exponent is 3, and your leading coefficient is -1. Does anybody have any questions? Are you ready to do some examples? Pardon? Are you a plant? Like you only work when the sun's out? What?
Yeah, mine is the don't worry about it.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to write an example below our foldable, and we're going to call it example 1. And the directions are going to say, identify the degree and leading coefficient of each polynomial. Are we ready for the chaos? It's really not that difficult. Okay, so for our first one, and tell me what kind of polynomial it is. Let's go crazy. Not out loud. Are we ready to do it out loud now?
Yes, kind of.
Okay, let's start with A. Can you tell me the degree?
Yes. Me. Let's be things.
Look at your notes that we just wrote down.
Degrees.
No, let him do it.
Oh my. The degree is
Why?
because that's it.
That's the highest exponent. Okay? Now, good. Take a point. Who can tell me what our leading coefficient is? CJ.
17.
What, Tater?
Or 7.
7. Fantastic. And what kind of poly is it? Take a point, CJ.
Trinomial.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Troy. A trinomial. Does everybody see what we're doing?
Yes.
Can you handle B and C without me, and then we'll check together?
Yes.
Okay, go team.
No.
Are we ready? Are we sure? Okay. So for B, B as in potato. What is our degree atom? 10. Look at you go. Take a point. What is our leading coefficient? Henry.
14.
That's what you meant. Good. Take a point. Why is it 19 and not 14? Why is it 19 and not 14?
Because 19 is higher.
No,
Because it has a bigger, a larger exponent.
Has the bigger exponent. Good. Take a point. And what kind of polynomial is this? A binomial. Because how many terms are there? 2.
I thought the A was going to 2.
I don't know what you just said.
I thought that an A was going to 2. I thought an A trinomial for these is
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
oh.
You better now? Okay. Alright, C. Potato. What is the degree? Who have I not heard from today? Alexa, tell me the degree.
3.
3. Good. Take a point. Manny, tell me the leading coefficient.
11.
Good. Take a point. Kimberly, tell me what kind of polynomial is it? Trinomial. Good. Take a point. Since that was a team effort. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, are we ready to add?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go crazy. Let's add some polynomials together. Now, when you add, you have to do very, very, very special things. Only combine like exponents. So we're going to write that on the outside. Only combine like exponents. So what do I mean by like exponents? The same exponent. Take a point, Tater. Ready to open? Or do we need a minute? Are we ready now? Okay, let's open this. Now, let's look at example 1. What we're going to do is we're going to put circles and squares and triangles around like exponents. And I'm going to use different colors so you can really see, and then we're going to party hard and work out our problem. Excuse me, I'm dying over here. Okay, so this is our first. I'm going to draw a line so we know that on the left-hand side is our first problem. So we're combining this polynomial and this trinomial together. You can only add up like exponents. So what matches up with 4x cubed? X cubed. These two match, and you follow the sign in between. So 4x cubed plus x cubed would be 5x cubed. You only combine the coefficients, not the exponents. Is everybody with me so far? Okay. Now, we do 2x squared plus what? Negative 5x squared. Why is that negative important? Because it's in front of it and you're subtracting. So you would do 2 plus a negative 5. And what's 2 plus negative 5? What's happening?
We're all dying.
You okay? Okay.
Negative 3x squared.
It is. No, it's negative 3. Oh, the next one. I'm just so confused as to why it took us so long on this one and what's happening. But still. Alright, and for the this one, 6x combines with what? X. And that gives you 7x. And does negative 4 have anything to combine with? So you write minus 4, and boom, you're done. I know. Now, tell me the degree, the leading coefficient, and what type of polynomial it is. Yes.
Instead of that's like the brighter line under like degree coefficient and polynomial. It would just like search.
Nope.
You have to write all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have a question? Tell me the degree many.
I'll be 3.
Good. Tell me the leading coefficient. I haven't. Okay. Troy, tell me the leading coefficient. Awesome. And what kind of polynomial is it, Allie?
Wait, what?
That's a positive 5, baby.
For
Hmm?
see,
It's a polynomial. What, Bronson?
I said not negative.
It is 5, baby.
No, how's it not negative?
There's no negative 1.
There's not a negative sign in front of this 5, baby.
Oh. Oh,
I think it was looking at the top.
yeah. I was looking at
You do it for your final answer for this part. Alright, do you want to do number 2 together?
No.
Okay, try it without me. Try not to look like I'm killing you while you're doing it. I am not. This is easy.
It is.
Easy. Just adding together numbers. Man. Alright, so for example 2. What did you combine with negative 2x squared? 3x squared. And what's negative 2 plus 3? So x squared?
What?
Oh, also 1. No,
Did we forget to put something out front?
One.
Oh, wait. Let's look at this. Does this have anything to combine with?
no.
So what do we do? Alright. What about this beauty right here? Negative x cubed plus x cubed. What happens to those? They cancel out. Good. And does this have anything to combine with?
Is it on that kinetic?
No. Oh,
Did anybody get it right?
I did.
There is hope for... You did not?
I didn't know they cancel out.
Well, it's negative 1 plus 1. So what's negative 1 plus 1?
It's funny when you always do a face, your face gets like serious like that. Look.
Alright, what is the degree of this bad boy? 2. And what's the leading coefficient?
3.
1. And what kind of polynomial is it? A trinomial. Are we ready to subtract? Can we handle subtracting?
No.
Yes, we can. Dude, if you can add, you can subtract. You're also in the 10th grade. Get it together. So, you do the same thing, except you subtract. Now, you need to watch out for your signs. That's very, very, very important on this one. Because there is a negative, you're subtracting, you have to watch out for your negatives out front. So, let's look at our first example over here. Let's look at example 3. You still do the same thing. You combine common, or like exponents. So, what are we going to combine 5y squared with?
Negative 1.
Okay, so it's 5 minus a negative 1. 5 minus a negative 1. You must be careful on these. What is 5 minus a negative 1? 6y squared. Okay, now what are we going to combine with the 2y? Alright, what is 2y minus 4y? Negative 2y. Good. Take a point, y'all. And what, for our final one, we have negative 4 minus a negative 3. So let's be very careful on that. It's negative 4 minus a negative 3. Negative 1. Alright, tell me the degree, the leading coefficient, and what kind of polynomial is it?
Degree is 2.
Write it down.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna have a test on this?
Yes.
When?
Probably Tuesday.
Yay.
All right, Troy, what's the degree?
2.
Thank you, Troy. All right, and what's the leading coefficient? Okay. And what kind of polynomial is it?
Right.
A trinomial. Why is it a trinomial? Because it has 3 terms. All right, can you do example 4? Do example 4. All right, did you get for this one? Oh, I forgot my. All right, so I got 2c cubed plus 9c squared plus 4c minus 9. Did you get that? Why did I change it to a plus 4c?
Because it's a negative.
It's minus a negative, right?
Yeah.
And minus a negative makes it a plus? Allie, what was your question going to be, babe?
How did you get 9? I got 8.
For which part, baby?
The 9 being
Right here?
negative 8 plus.
Because it's 5 minus a negative 4, and that gives you 9. And then this 9 right here is from negative 8 minus 1.
Why are you minus the 4c?
Right here? This one? I need you to explain where you're meaning, baby. I don't quite understand. The second term or the third term? Right here? Oh, I messed up. I should have combined those. I thought that had a square on it. So what should this be instead? This should it should be 5 minus 3 is, what's 5 minus 3? 2. This should be a 2. Is that what you were meaning right there? Allie? Because it's 5 minus 3, right? Do you want to start over from the beginning and look at it? You want to look at it again? Okay, so this doesn't have anything to combine with. I combined these two on accident. I skipped over this one, and I don't know why. So this one doesn't have anything to combine with. So you write 2c cubed. Thank you. Then you have 5c squared minus 3c squared, and that gives you a positive 2c squared. Then you don't have anything to combine with this one, so it's minus a negative, so you get plus 4c. And then negative 8 minus 1 gives you minus 9. Did you add those, babe? Okay. Doesn't help to get angry about it. Okay. Work on your homework sheet. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, go team.